Hello, my name is Jade, and welcome to my show, Stories and Scribes. Um, so, if you watched my maybe second video when I talked about Isaiah's daughter, you know I said I was going to continue because there was so much to say that I couldn't have done it in just one video. So, welcome again to Isaiah's Daughter by Mesu Andrews. I'll read the synopsis again so it gives us a preview as to what we said the last time. So Ishmael entered Prophet Isaiah's home as a household servant, but her quick mind and lively spirit gained the friendship of Prince Hezekiah. When Isaiah sees their relationship mature, he adopts Ishmael, giving her a royal pedigree and a new name. Ishmael becomes Hephzibah, the light of the Lord, and the desolate capital becomes Judah's queen. But loving Hezekiah will require much more from Hephzibah than she could ever imagine. From Ahaz's terrifying reign to Assyrian's threats and Israel's own perplexing prophecies, Ziba remains trapped by fear, facing an uncertain future. Will Pallas' life lead to freedom from her past, or can she trust everything to the only one who gives life and delivers both the captive heart and the desperate nation? Okay, I remember when I said that this book really gave me insight as to, Prophet Isaiah and the things that he had done, in proclaiming God's word is prophecy. So prophecy is like understanding the heart and the will of God concerning any matter. And Prophet Isaiah was the prophet at that time over the nation of Israel. And it was amazing how real it came to me. So when I read the book, what the feeling I got was my everyday life kind of feeling. So like I mentioned that when I read the Old Testament, it's almost like far-fetched, like oh my God, in those days. But reading it was like just our days. Okay, like in those days they will call maybe their husband's master or Lord. Here we can say sir, or whatever we call people in these days. So it was just so natural to their living in that time. So what we think as olden days or foreign was their natural everyday life, and all of that. And I told you about Hephzibah, and I told you about King Hezekiah and how Isaiah adopted her from Ishmael, which meant a desolate place. One of the things that really struck me is about names. You know how we say names are very important to people, and that really, really, really struck me. So Ishmael means a desolate place. Her name was now changed to Hephzibah, which means the light of the Lord. So, okay, like let me give a typical example. In my own personal life, okay, growing up, I had the name called Alache, and that means a deserted place in my native Idoma, language. And while it has strong background to it, I just didn't understand why I'll be named the deserted place. So I remembered one time during my NYC days, I had a friend, and we talked about names and we got to that part. And I think we prayed about it. And he came to say that you will no longer be called Alacha, a desolate place or a deserted place. You now be called a fruitful vine. So it was amazing to see how the dynamics of a person's life changes only by their name change. So it's important what you call yourself. Looking back at the story of Jabez, I mentioned something, I got a revelation of something very, very amazing. Do you know that Jabez did not change his name from Jabez, even though it meant pain? All he did was to change the thing associated with his name. So you may not necessarily change your name like I did from Alache to Jemima, which is I'm now being called. You might just, but you must pray the name in such a way that it changes the meaning of it totally. And that's what happened. Ishmael no longer was a desolate place. Ishmael was now a delight of the Lord. And I loved it so much because in those days, when God gives a name, it was almost like a mirror to what Israel was going to be like. It was like a mirror to what the prophecy of what God has said was going to be like. So names are very, very important. That's what I'm trying to point out. So Ishmael, now called Hephzibah, married King Hezekiah, and their relationship was one of friendship. But there's the dichotomy between being a wife and being someone that's like an advisor to the king was very tricky. And the way she played it was with so much grace and wisdom. I love King Hezekiah because he loved God and his love for God showed in everything he did. Yes, the times came when him and Isaiah, you know, had a conflict as to what God has said and what is. For instance, the issue of the Levites being the priest, the priest being different from the Levites. How they had to handle the things of the temple or of the sanctuary. Then I know, but the truth is, his heart was for God, unlike his father King Ahaz, that hated God. In short, went contrary to what God is. King Hezekiah in history is known as one that loved God, and his heart was followed after God. And I give kudos to Queen Hephzibah, because it shows that my place as a woman is critical in nation building. No matter how, no matter how high a president is, there's always a woman, his wife, his mother, his sister, someone that has influence over his life. Little influence, medium influence, or large influence. So women have to rise up to the occasion, especially in these times when we are seeking for political influence, where we are seeking for economic influence, where we are seeking for policy influence, where we are seeking for office. We must rise our level of intellect. We must rise to the things that we know as regards nation building, or as regards, making an impact in the place of our influence. So this book is a must read. I got this book from Sefer Books, an online Christian fiction bookstore. So go get yours, and happy reading. Bye.